Here we are live at the 360 Vegas studios with this edition of School Police Talk. Look who we have. We have the chief. And we're here for the year-end wrap-up. Now, you're fantastic.
Thank you.
Everybody who comes here, we always talk about you. Everybody that works in the department has so much respect and honor for what it is that you're doing, what you've tried to do, what you continue to do, what every other school police across the nation is watching so they can try to emulate. I mean, all these wonderful things that without your leadership and in command to tell people what it is and then have everyone do it.
We came into this school year knowing that our violence in our schools was slightly trending down in a lot of areas. Obviously, we don't want to see anybody with a firearm, especially in a juvenile's hands. And it's so much more threatening having a gun in a juvenile's hands than an adult. They're impulsive. They're going through puberty. They have all these things that they're dealing with as a juvenile, with social media and all that kind of stuff, and then peer pressure. Just that it makes that threat of someone with a firearm 10 times to 50 times more dangerous than an adult with a firearm.
Yeah.
So that's why we look at that like it's such a big issue, and it is. This year we ended up with 24 firearms found on our campuses. Majority of them were from juveniles, so we recovered those, and it's a decrease from last year. So last school year, the 2023-2024 school year, we had 27, and the year before that was 31. The year before that was 33. So it's trending down, and this year is 24. So I'm hoping this coming school year we're going to see a difference, but you just never know. We had weeks where in the past where we would get 4 guns in a day. We'd have just one incident after another, and there's no telling rhyme or reason why these kids are choosing to do that and bring these weapons to school on a certain day. We investigate everything. We have folks that work in counterterrorism, if you can believe that. Mm-hmm. We have officers that work on teams with all local agencies, federal agencies, and things like that, just to investigate these types of things and see if there's some type of tie to some other thought or pattern of action by some group that wants to do harm in our schools. Mm-hmm. So, I know the public doesn't know probably much about that. They think it's okay, we're just investigating a kid that has a gun, but no, we're looking into all other facets that could surround that child bringing that weapon, or even talking about that weapon in a school, or talking about a bomb, or just talking about doing harm. I mean, all of those things are investigated to the fullest, because it's just because they're doing it now doesn't mean they're going to stop.
Here's the difference. In 1984, you had a problem with somebody, maybe you met up on a hill and you two slugged it out or whatever it was, or, and then you came back to school the next day, you probably hugged and shook hands, and you said how stupid it was, and everybody made fun of both of you because one guy fell and one guy didn't, or whatever. But at the end of the day, school was about how do we learn math, how do we learn science, right? How do we get the proper education so that we can go on in our life to maybe either get a job or go to college or go into a family business, you know what I mean? Like all these type of things. But in today's world, right, there's bullying, there's guns, there's knives, there's, I'm going to impress somebody, like all these things. And so when we look at these things and when we hear what it is that you're talking about, like all these different things have so many different facets to make them work.
Yeah.
And so many people that are underneath you to do that. And, I love the social workers. You know what I mean? Like, this is one of the ways that you were able to bridge that gap. Chief, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
We'll face right here. We'll say goodbye, okay? See you later.
See ya.